Here, you want to come take the camera? A look at some of the carving projects we've got going on down at the camp here. So I was riding down the hill the other day and I took a slightly different route, which led me to becoming locked up between a rock and a couple of trees, so that there was neither back nor forwards, and I decided that the simplest solution was to cut the trees. The beech was diseased and the hemlock, there's a lot of that, so I just came over here and grabbed the chainsaw and went back and chopped it all down, and it's quite a nice beech. So this is the thicker part, and how I split that, I brought it here and I batoned the axe into the end, and once it was opened out a bit, I started making myself some of these. So you know what, we could actually do this right now, if I can find everything. This was the next section. As you can see, this beech is diseased. So they say it's good to clear the diseased ones out and let the healthy ones get on. So, got a mallet. Now I kind of eye it up to see you know, which way I think it's going to split easily. You kind of want to go between the knots and maybe think this seat kind of has a curve that way. So which orientation do I want on that? I think I'm going to go down this way. So let's try and get this kind of down the middle where the pith is. Now the split's kind of moving off in the wrong direction down here already, which it'll probably come back to center, but I think that one thing you could do about that is just take your knife and try and open it up. You hear how it split that part there that was, it's under tension now. So you just cut through that part, twang, and lead the split back where you want it to go. These diseased parts are very hard. They're very tough on the edge of a blade. So when it's this thick, you probably don't really need to even use these wedges. You can kind of split it by hand, but you just kind of pull on it. And if it starts running off, there's also a direction you pull it in one direction or the other to try and correct that. But anyway, now I'm just going with this. Hit myself in the hand for the camera. So I whittled these off another piece of split beech that was here. This has already been seasoned for a while, so it's very hard and tough. So a good material for making these little splitting wedges. I made myself one, and then once it was stuck in, I made myself another, and so on. Not even going to take 3 to get this. I only need 2, really. So actually, a point of interest is that if you were to come into the woods with nothing but this knife, you would be able to use the knife to make yourself a baton and to make yourself the wedges And so you could use this knife to split pretty sizable wood, as it were. Nearly there. It's running off a bit at the end here, but that's okay. So, something that I recently acquired and just started testing with these is this wonderful draw knife I have here. Let me show it to you. Gransforsbruk, Sverige, Sweden. See the curve on that and everything? It's very nice. I've played with these kinds of tools a little bit before, but nothing really worked for me. But this one works. So what I found is that I can have that jammed up tight against there. Oh, I can just straddle this like this. So that was kind of working for me, but I realized that if I want to get up on the sides here, it's kind of difficult to, you know, keep it. At which point I remembered the hemlock that I cut, because I cut the beech and then I cut this hemlock that had a crotch at the base. So I went back for this piece here, and this piece is so nice and heavy. You stick it like that, put it like that, and we can lock it in there. And it's actually quite nice to have it at this angle. Yeah. So yeah, making our own lumber and making stuff with it. And what else can I show you since we're here? Nothing. The mini chainsaw, let's have a look. I already showed this one, the M18. But we also have this little guy here. And this is really good. So you got something like this here. Actually, this was actually kind of half buried, and I just pulled it out of the ground. But this will dry out quickly, and it'll burn really well. I think it's oak. So you know, you're just going one-handed. In fact, I could just do this over the trailer here. So the chain on this, I don't know that I've ever sharpened it. Maybe once, not well, for sure. But it just keeps going. So, I mean, if you've got a good chain on it, it'll cut a lot quicker. I don't know what the battery condition is like, but we leave this thing, well, I leave it lying around in the rain. It's indestructible. And you can also use it for power carving, you know. They call it the hatchet. So, very cool little thing. Here, have a look at one of the headlights off the four-wheeler. I uninstalled it the other day on the trail, driving over a tree. Thank you for watching.